In this video we're taking a look at Sony a7S III, a full-frame 12-megapixel mirrorless camera. If you are looking for something specific, try navigating the timestamps. Let's start with the positives. And the three big factors are the 12-megapixel BSI sensor with a new dual processor and advanced fanless heat dissipation design. This results in a reliable high-quality video recording capability up to 4K 120 frames or 240 frames in 1080p, even in low light and hot conditions, with noticeably improved rolling shutter. We finally get a fully articulating screen. This makes it easy to record yourself as well as viewing the screen from different angles. The new touch menu is easy to navigate and it's a huge improvement over the old menu system. This time around we get a lot of codec choices, which means we can select very high quality or smaller file size. A7S III produces some of the best looking 1080p resolution video. The two main reasons for this is the availability of XAVC-SI codec with 422 10-bit and the fact that 1080p resolution is downscaled from 4K. The internal body image stabilization has received an improved mode called active stabilization, and it does smooth out the video more. The autofocusing system is one of the best and works well most of the time, depending on conditions, settings and lens used. We also get touch to focus and tracking, meaning that you can track moving objects and achieve cinematic focus pulling. The brand new 9.44 million dot resolution viewfinder is currently the best in the world. There are a lot of improvements on the body, like bigger customizable buttons, larger grip, record button on top, 3 memory presets on the main dial, and button locks on both exposure compensation and main dials. Also, the cover flaps are of much higher quality. Even the microphone port gets its own little door, meaning that the selfie screen is not going to be blocked when microphone port is in use. And check this out, even the little hooks that you attach your shoulder strap to are more firmly attached than previous designs, meaning it's not gonna flap around and make noise when you're doing vlogging and hand holding the camera. Let's talk about connections. Microphone port, headphones port, USB-C, micro USB, full-size HDMI, the usual Bluetooth with Wi-Fi, and the latest hot shoe interface can be used with Sony microphone ECM B1M without using any wires. Built-in stereo microphone is in the same position. There is also a small but very useful speaker, which you can use to quickly check if sound was recorded. S&Q mode is in the usual position, which enables us to quickly record a time-lapse or slow-motion video. For time-lapse photography, we get interval shoot function with many customizable options. Of course, we get the Z battery, which has proven itself as a reliable and long-lasting power source. As expected for this price range, we do get 2 card slots. Each card slot can now accept either a regular SD card that everyone is familiar with or the new Type A CF Express cards, which are much faster and will enable you to use the highest quality video recording setting in the camera. Speaking of video recording, there is no limit, which is great news for doing podcasts, interviews and more. The camera comes with picture profiles like S-Log3, which helps achieve higher dynamic range and is an important tool for color grading. The camera is weather resistant, weather sealing. If there's slight drizzle, I would feel pretty confident if there's a little snow here and there. We have gotten a new picture profile as Cinetone, which transfers from the cinema line of Sony cameras, and that's what it looks like with the S Cinetone. Very nice addition, and it sounds promising that in the future we may be getting even more updates like this, hopefully. If you are getting this camera, that means you're getting into the Sony ecosystem. There are lenses coming out, newer bodies coming out, so very good chance that this line will continue. There's gonna be A7S IV likely in the future, and the lenses just keep coming out one after another, so a lot of choices there, so a good investment. There is a crop option in 1080p mode like this. There's a very cool feature called Gamma Assist, so when you're recording in S-Log3, you can assign it to a shortcut button and the footage looks gray, you press it and now it has all the colors, so you can better judge how the video is coming out. Custom buttons. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them assigned to specific functions which help with overall operation of this camera. Clear image zoom is a useful feature. It's kind of like digital zoom, but there is more to it. I would have to do some more testing. At 1080p resolution, you can zoom in all the way to 2x. But in 4K resolution, you can go only up to 1.5x, which is still good to have. Rolling shutter has been improved dramatically. "4K 60 frames. Overheating is not an issue. I had the camera for about 8 months now. Never had even a little symbol show up on the screen. Did long video recordings, I did hot days, not a hiccup. So the cooling has really been addressed in this body design. Well, let's talk about our low light performance. ISO right now is at 200, so that's nothing, right? That's fine, everything's good. But this camera does pretty well even if it goes to a higher ISO. Right now it's 16,000 ISO. This is 40,000 ISO. 64,000 ISO. 100,000 ISO. Let's find the darkest spot. 200,000 ISO. And this is 409,000 ISO. You have color, the autofocusing is working. I like the shutter sound of A7S III. Let's compare it to A7 III. Much quieter. Now, the thing with articulating screen is that if you want to do a quick low or high shot, you literally have to flip it out and then twist it to the direction. While in previous designs, we can simply flip the screen up for a low shot or quickly with one move flip the screen down for a high shot. So that is definitely unfortunate, but perhaps in the future Sony will implement a similar design to what Panasonic has with S1H. The camera is weather resistant, but honestly it is not something I would do on a daily basis. Oh my god. I would rather not expose it to the elements. Let's say if you're doing some shoots in the water and you have a risk of dropping it in the water, or it's a heavy rain, I would not use it. You still cannot change settings on your main display when you're operating your camera. like shutter speed, aperture ISO. You must use S&Q mode in order to capture 240 frames, which is noticeably softer than 120 frames 1080p resolution. Also, S&Q does not capture any sound. There is no crop mode in 4K resolution, simply because we don't have enough pixels. For those of you not sure what it is the ability for the camera to become APS-C camera instead of the full frame, using a smaller portion of its sensor. There is a small 1.1 crop when using 4K 120 frames. I don't think it's a big deal, but important to remember because it will change your camera's field of view. Even though the IBIS is improved a lot, it is still not like Panasonic, like S1H. That's probably the leader. But there is a negative that comes with it, and that is a small crop. So if I turn the active stabilization off, this is what you're gonna get. Another thing with the active stabilization is that it will be disabled if you use 120. 1080p, 4K, any 120, active stabilization is going to be off. So if you're counting on it being there, be sure to use 60 frames or lower. The price. Do you hear all this quacking? It's a lot, right? The built-in stereo microphone. It's good to have, but it picks up a lot of ambient noise. If I get further from the camera, the volume is going to decrease. You will not be able to hear my voice. It picks up a lot of wind noise, and it doesn't come with any like wind muffs or dead cats. This is how it sounds with the noise reduction on, which does decrease the audio quality. The last negative with the microphone is that it picks up a lot of echo. The noise reduction is off. And let's talk about the screen. I feel like it's been a bit too long. It's like the same screen all over again. Now it's fully articulating, which is great, but the quality, the sharpness, I think it could have been better, and the screen could be bigger too. Alright, let's switch to a lav microphone. We are on the lav mic, which is right over here. Let's talk about the 12 megapixel sensor. I don't think it's enough for a hybrid camera. 20 megapixel, 24 megapixel, I think it would be much better for a camera to be really a hybrid one where you can do great video but still have enough cropping room with photography. And 20 or 24 megapixel would have been better, but this is a video-centric camera, so 12 megapixel works great for the needs like 4K 120, but photographers, keep it in mind, 12 megapixel, it's enough for majority of needs, but obviously not all photographers will be satisfied. This camera is not that heavy to operate. The weight is pretty manageable. However, 700 grams will make itself known to you. You will feel it pretty quick. You know, if you keep holding the camera like I'm doing right now. Sony A7C, for example, weighs 500 grams, so that's much lighter. It's dark right now, and the camera doesn't have any lights that would indicate that it's recording, unless you have the screen turned to you and you can see it on the screen. Otherwise, you wouldn't know if it's working or not. So, what is the conclusion? Well, as DP Review said it, this is the best hybrid camera of 2020. Of course, 12 megapixel, well, not as good for serious photography, but it's plenty for most photography needs. Let me just take this off. So we get a little sharper background. Well, if 12 megapixel is enough for you, then this is definitely one of the best hybrid cameras, because you get options like 4K 120, quality, slow motion, and of course the autofocusing, low light capability, the lens selection, the selfie screen, just the list goes on and on.
very strong camera choice if 12 megapixel is fine with you and you're interested in video at the same time. Recommended.